There you go. Great stuff. Okay. So, my name is Ken Barnes. I am the author of the Lean Mind Body Method. Welcome to everybody who's joining me again. It's nice to have you on a Wednesday here. It really, really is nice to have you here on a Wednesday joining me, where I share all the philosophies about the Lean Mind Body Method. It's a book that I have written that has really transformed my life. It's allowed me, the methods in the book allowed me to lose 50 pounds in 6 months, reverse my pre-diabetes, and cure my sleep apnea. The Lean Mind Body Method focuses on four areas. It focuses on sleep, it focuses on nutrition, it focuses on mindset, and it focuses on exercise. And every single week here, I share with you just a snippet of one of those areas. Today, we are going to be talking about sleep and the importance of sleep. Why sleep is so important. You know, I've heard so many people say sleep is a waste of time. Well, I often say to them, maybe it's the case that, you know, much of your time is a waste without sleep, because without good sleep, you cannot function, and it affects your body in so many ways. And I'm just going to touch on some of those ways in which sleep affects you today. Possibly in some later Lean Bites Live, I'll go into more detail about the different other ways that sleep can affect you. But today, it's all about sleep, weight loss, and the two hormones in particular that can affect your efforts when it comes to eating sleep. Have you ever noticed that, you know, when you don't sleep or when you really feel tired, how hungry you feel? Well, I'm going to answer the question today on why that happened. Have you also noticed that you ever been out for a night, you've been drinking, and you come out and you're a little bit, you know, inebriated, possibly tired as well, and you just feel so hungry? In fact, I remember the times when there were food I might have at home that I didn't really enjoy, but then I'd go out for a night, come in, and the food would taste absolutely delicious. I'll explain to you why that happens as well. So today is all about sleep and weight loss. And hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll understand how your lack of sleep is affecting your hunger and affecting your weight gain and possibly weight loss. So why should you love sleep? Well, I love sleep. I must admit, this week has been a little bit of a tough week, and I haven't got as much sleep as I should have, but I absolutely love sleep. And so should you. And I'm going to explain why. Now, before I kind of get into sleep, let me just break down sleep into sleep is broken down into 5 cycles. Throughout your night, you sleep through 5 what they call REM cycles. That's NREM and non REM and NREM. So that's non-rapid eye movement and rapid eye movement. There are 4 stages for NREM and 1 stage for REM. And we go for about 5 of these cycles each night. What we should do equals about 7.5 hours sleep. So the prescribed amount of sleep that you should get each night is 7.5 hours. Now, there are some people who can survive on less. There are some people who have been surviving on less, but they have no idea what more sleep can do for them. This presentation will give you an idea of how a lack of sleep really can affect you. So if we start with the basis of 7.5 hours, and you know, if you only get 6 hours, try 7.5 hours, see how you feel, and then if you need to reduce it, you can reduce it down to 6 hours. And if you still feel the same, then you may be one of the individuals who can survive on less than 7.5 hours sleep. But 7.5 hours sleep is the prescribed amount of sleep that we should get to wake up feeling refreshed and everything else. Now, I don't know if you know, there are so many, you know, there are times when I was younger, you'd go out raving, and I know some people who do it and then go to work and they may be out late the next day and they don't sleep, and they'd go 17 to 19 hours without sleep. Do you know that if you go to 17 to 19 hours without sleep, you are technically drunk. In a sense, your mental and physical impairment is the same as if you were drunk. And this is why it's so important. I know people who go through sometimes, day and a half, 2 days without sleep, and their cognitive abilities are very much impaired. So it's incredibly important to make sure you get some sleep. So look, I'm going to have a presentation, and I'm going to use this gentleman here. His name's Joe, and I'm going to run through the presentation and use Joe as an example of why sleep is important. So this is Joe's philosophy. Look, I'm too busy to sleep. Yeah, we know we're working. We all have our jobs. And his philosophy is he's too busy to sleep. I know people who say that. He also says, look, I can survive on just a few hours sleep a night. Well, some people think they can, but as I said before, there are many people who don't realize just how good they could sleep, they could feel with a little bit more sleep. So that's Joe. Joe is actually in sleep debt. I'll explain to you what sleep debt is. Sleep debt is the difference between the sleep you're getting and the sleep you need. So, for example, say you need 7 hours of sleep a night, and you're only getting 5 hours of sleep. If you did that one night, you would be 2 hours in sleep debt. So that's what sleep debt is, the difference between the sleep you're getting and the sleep you need. So again, if you need 7 hours and you're only sleeping for 5 hours, it is 2 hours sleep debt. And that builds up night after night. So if you go through 5 days and you only get 5 hours sleep, but you really need seven, over those 5 days, you've built up 10 hours of sleep there. So you are in a sleep deprived state. Hope that's clear. All right. Now, look, your body gets to a point where it says it can't take no more. This is what happens. You must have noticed sometimes when you're really, really tired and you get irritable and you can't think, it's your body telling you, I just need some sleep. That's what it's telling you, and your body just breaks down. You can't take it anymore. And you start to feel unwell. But the thing is, when you do feel unwell, you rarely say to yourself, I wonder if it's because I'm not sleeping properly. You invariably blame something else. But often the reason why you catch a cold, the reason why you feel irritable, the reason why you might be, your immune system may be impaired is because of your lack of sleep. So the next time you're feeling that way, possibly look at the amount of sleep you are getting. But there are some other things that are happening in the background when you get a lack of sleep, and that's your hormones. Now, there are four particular hormones that are affected by your sleep. There's more. I'm going to talk about two of them today. The first one is ghrelin. The second one is leptin. The third one is cortisol, and the fourth one is insulin. So I'm not going to talk about cortisol and insulin today, but I am going to talk about the two hormones that particularly affect how you feel when it comes to hunger and appetite, and they're ghrelin and leptin. Now, when you're sleep deprived, I kind of term these hormones as bailiffs. They're like sleep bailiffs. Because what does a bailiff do? A bailiff comes and robs you. In essence, he takes away from you. And that is what sleep deprivation does. It robs from you. So we're going to term ghrelin, and we're going to turn ghrelin, and we're going to turn the other hormone, leptin, as sleep bailiffs. And the thing is, when a bailiff comes to your house, people say, hide, don't open the door. You cannot do that with a hormone. You can't do it with a sleep bailiff because it doesn't matter. You can't say you're going to ignore them because they're affecting you internally. You cannot hide from a sleep bailiff hormones. That's what I'm calling them, a sleep bailiff today. So let me explain to you what happened. So this is Joe. He's in sleep debt. All right. And the bailiffs are out. The ghrelin and the leptin bailiffs are at work because he's in sleep deprivation. Now, what happens is this. Ghrelin is a hormone that's produced in your gut. Yes? Leptin is a hormone that's produced in your adipose tissue. And the way ghrelin works is this, is it makes you feel hungry. So your ghrelin hormone is activated, and when it's activated, you feel hungry. And then your leptin hormone. So once you've eaten, then your leptin hormone kicks in, and it says to your body, you're full. So just to be clear, when your ghrelin hormone is high, you feel hungry. What then happens is then your leptin hormone then raises up, and then the ghrelin hormone reduces, and then you feel full. And that's what happens when you eat. All right. So as you can see by the example, first the ghrelin is high, leptin is low, and then you go to have the ghrelin low and the leptin is high. So this is how a proper working order of your hormones work when you're not sleep deprived or nothing else is getting inside the way. But look, when you're sleep deprived, it doesn't work like that. So look, this is Joe again. Remember, he's sleep deprived. He hasn't been sleeping, so his hormones are out of whack, particularly the leptin and the ghrelin hormone. All right. So again, the ghrelin hormone comes in, and he feels hungry. All right. What then happens is he eats food. But guess what happens? Because the leptin and the ghrelin hormones are out of whack, what happens? The sleep bailiffs are active, and his ghrelin hormone stays high. What do you think happens when his ghrelin hormone stays high? He continually feels hungry. He never feels full because his leptin hormone is not working in such a way where it overtakes the ghrelin hormone. And that's why when you're tired, when you're hungry, you're constantly eating. Look, guess what? I am always hungry. And the thing is, this is why you put on weight, because you're constantly eating. And the thing is, you're not eating a broccoli, you're not eating a cabbage, you're not eating things that are really healthy. What you want to eat when you feel like that is high carbohydrate foods. You know, you grab for a chocolate, you grab for a pack of crisps, you grab for something sweet because you, in your mind, you feel you need an energy boost. So this is what happens is when you're sleep deprived. So the next time you don't get enough sleep and you find yourself reaching for that chocolate bar, that bag of crisps, or that cake, recognize it's because your hormones are out of whack. Your ghrelin hormone is not being overtaken by your leptin hormone. And this goes on behind the scenes, and you cannot stop this from happening. The only way you can stop this by happening is by getting enough sleep. That's why even if you do have, you know, days where you're not sleeping so well, you know, try. And you know, research does say sometimes you can't even make up for it on just a weekend, but it's incredibly important for your whole well-being to be able to schedule sleep, because it affects your appetite and the way you feel, because you want to work in hormone. You don't want your ghrelin to stay high all the time. And the best way to be able to do that when it comes to your sleep deprivation is to make sure you get enough sleep. So as I said before, you know, some people can survive on 6 hours, even record show 5 hours. But those people are few and far between. Most people are walking around in a sleep deprived state, and they have absolutely no idea how good they could feel if they consistently got another 1.5, 2 hours sleep each night. And this is not just about how it affects your appetite, this is about how it affects your cognitive abilities and just the way you feel. In another presentation, I will go through and I'll explain to you about um, cortisol and how a lack of sleep is affected your cortisol level, and that is serious. That is so serious. And also how it also affects insulin, and how a lack of sleep can make you insulin resistant, which then can make you diabetic. I mean, these are things that I didn't understand before I went on my journey, but I definitely understand them now. So I do my best to get as much sleep as I can, and I urge you to do the same. Let me turn the comments on here because some of you may want to comment at any time throughout this presentation. So they're there. If someone wants to comment on YouTube or you want to comment on Facebook, then feel free to make a comment. So I'm going to move on to the next section here now of our the L.E.A.N Bites Live. And I like this section. I really, really like this section. And this section is called Sugar Smash because it's so important to understand the amount of sugar that's in your food. So all this section is each week I take 3 foods and I want to just show you how much sugar is in that food. So you're aware, last week I went through some rice and peas and I had some other foods and the dumplings, and I had people say, look, I'm not giving up my dumplings, I'm not giving up my rice and peas. Well, that is your choice. That is entirely your choice. I'm just giving you the information, and it's for you to decide what you put on your plate, what you put on your fork, and then ultimately what you put in your mouth. But I will assure you that if you want to lose weight, if you want to manage your blood sugar, if you just generally want to be healthy, you need to manage your sugar. And it's not just the added sugar, it's the sugar, the fructose and the glucose that you will find in food. So last week I went through and I explained to everybody that when you eat food, when you eat carbohydrates especially, they turn to glucose and fructose in your body. So all refined or even complex carbohydrates turn to a form of glucose in your body, which is in essence sugar, and it raises your blood sugar. So when you talk about the government guidelines there talks about the amount of sugar that people should eat. It talks about a man in 9 teaspoons of sugar, 36 grams, and a woman 6 teaspoons of sugar, 25 grams. They always talk about added sugar, but you really need to take in the sugar content of all the foods you eat. So what are the 3 foods that I am going to share with you today? Okay, so these are the 3 foods. The first one is a 36-gram of oatmeal porridge. There's so many people have porridge for breakfast. They have it for breakfast. The amount of sugar in this would surprise you. And this is without adding any sugar. So this is the 360 gram of oatmeal porridge. And people always say oatmeal is good for you. Well, depends on how you look at it. It's not something that's included in my diet. So let's just see how much sugar's in this oatmeal porridge here. This just smash it all up, and let's see. Look at that. 85 grams of sugar. That's 22.5 teaspoons. That's just a reasonable bowl of oatmeal porridge, and that's without you adding the sugar that you might do. Look at the recommended doses for a man. That is way over just in that one bowl of oatmeal porridge. Your choice. I am just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Oh, brown bread. 2 slices. How many people have 2 slices of brown bread? And we're always told that brown bread is good for us. Anything that's brown in the sense of food is good for us. The funny thing is brown bread will raise your glycemic index quicker than white bread. But anyway, 2 slices of brown bread. You eat that for breakfast. Some people put jam in it, but without jam, how much sugar in this here? Let's see how much sugar is in this 2 slices of brown bread. May surprise you. All right, look at that. 35 grams there, 8.75 teaspoons of sugar in 2 slices. So look, that is over the recommended amount for a woman and just under for a man. And that's just with 2 slices. That's without putting your jam on it. Butter is fine because in my diet, fats are good. You can put fat. That's not gonna, doesn't contain any sugar. But that's 2 slices of dry brown bread without any sugar, without any jam on it, and it's 8.75 teaspoons. Again, is your choice. Yes, if you want to eat a brown bread. Okay, Miss B, how much? So this is the last one. So I thought I'd go with an African dish today. Funny thing, I've never actually tried pounded yam. I heard some people really, really I'm sure people have it breakfast or lunch or dinner. So I thought I'd include pounded yam today. And this is just 180 grams of pounded yam. Yes, this is a staple um, African dish. I'm sure it's made in other countries. How much sugar do you think is in this 180 grams of pounded yam? Well, let's see. Let's smash it all up and just see exactly how much sugar is in this pounded yam. It will surprise you. 15 teaspoons of sugar in this pounded yam. Yeah, you love pounded yam, and if someone's saying they love pounded yam, great, fantastic. I'm sure it's absolutely delicious. But the issue with food is you should be eating it not just for taste but for health. Yes, you should be eating it because it fuels your body, not just for taste. When you eat things just for taste, you're loaded with all kind of things and loaded with all kind of um, sugar laden things just to make it taste better. For me, the first priority is I'm eating foods that fuel my body. I'm eating foods that will help me manage my blood sugar and my insulin levels. I'm eating foods that are good for me. So I've just shared three items there with you. Yes, the pounded yam. You can decide how you feel about that. The two slices of bread, brown bread, and also the oatmeal porridge. Those are the three items today. Next week, I'll have another three items to share with you. Again, you make your choice about what you want to eat. But on the sugar and refined carbohydrate reduction diet that I eat and my coaching clients eat and the people in my tribe community eat, these are things that they would definitely stay away from, especially if they want to manage their blood sugar and especially if they want to manage their weight. But again, you make your choice. So let's just move on to the last section for today, because today is just a very, very, very short section. On Monday, I hold the Make Health Your Habit podcast live. Thank you very much to Shireen and Patrick. We spoke about depression. It was a real show. It was a real show where there was some very, very frank discussions. I really, really appreciate them open up. So today, this section is what I call a lean reflection. And it's just a point where I'm just going to share just a little snippet, something for you to think about. Now, one of the things I always get feedback on as a coach on people, let's say, take it back. Let's say, for example, you say today you're going to be really, really good. I'm going to be good today. Today is a day where I'm not going to eat no chocolate. I've had those days to get weak. Today's the days where I'm not going to eat no chocolate. Today's a day where I'm going to stick on my diet. So you can use the process, which I call four quarters, in any aspect of your life or discipline. It's just simply called four quarters. So let's use chocolate as an example, because it's a weakness for me sometimes. So let me use chocolate as an example. So I get up and I say, right, tomorrow I'm not going to eat any chocolate, or I'm not going to eat any chocolate for a week. Remember, we can use the same example with a diet and X, Y, Z. And the way I tell people is you safeguard yourself by breaking your day up into four quarters. And the four quarters will be as follows. Let's say, for example, you get up at 7 o'clock. Let's take 7 to 12 o'clock. That's one quarter. 12 to 4 o'clock. That's the second quarter. 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That's the third quarter. And 8 o'clock to whatever time you go to bed. So now your day's separated into four quarters. So instead of having a day where, you get up in the morning and you eat some chocolate, or you go off your diet and you feel, oh, God, the day's messed up now. I might as well eat more chocolate, or I can't be bothered to get myself back on track. Separate your day into four quarters. So, for example, if I ate chocolate, or if you ate chocolate in the morning between 8 and between 7 and 12, and that was the first quarter, what you say to yourself is this: oh God, all right, I might not have got it right in the first quarter, but for the other three quarters of the day, I'm going to be on track. Let's say you mess up You do well in the first quarter. In the second quarter, because lunchtime is sometimes a time when you get a little bit vulnerable, you need to say to yourself, well, look, I did well in the first quarter. I didn't do so well in the second quarter, but the third and the fourth quarter, I am going to keep on track. Can you see what this does? Instead of just saying you've messed up the whole day, you are now talking about quarters, and all you've done is messed up a quarter of your day. Instead of just giving up and making a whole day terrible, and invariably what happens is you know you give up on that day and you just pig out or you do whatever, and then invariably you do it the next day, and you do it the next day, and you find it hard to get back on track. But a way to be able to control that is by separating your day into four quarters. Seven, say you get, even if you get up at 6, make it 6 till 12, or 7 to 12, 8 till 12, 12 till 4, 4 till 8, and 8 till whenever the time you go to bed. Hopefully, if you're getting up at 7, you're going to bed not later than 12, so you're getting your 7 hours of sleep. So that four quarters strategy has helped so many people. It's definitely helped me, and it can definitely help you, because there's nothing like feeling you've had a bad day and you've failed. There's nothing like it. It can be so destroying, especially when you really, really are trying to get it right. You're really trying to get this journey right, but you just don't have that willpower yet. You just don't have that discipline yet. You just don't have that motivation yet. So, and it's so easy to be thrown off track. Someone upsets you, yeah, something happens, you get emotional, and then you want to reach for that thing you shouldn't be eating, or invariably if you're using it in something else that then you shouldn't be doing. So that's the reflection for today. It's what I call a safeguarding strategy called four quarters. Use it. It works incredibly well to be able to keep you motivated and keep you on track. So, that is the Lean Bites today. I just want to share with you, I am holding, let me just share this with you. If you, after listening to me speak about the foods and the amount of sugar, and you wanted to try a low carb diet, yeah, you just wanted to try it, if you go to my website, www.theleanmindbodycoach.com, there is a mailing list form there. If you complete that mailing list form, you will get sent to you a 5-day low carb menu, detailed menu with a shopping list, with ideas of what to do with the leftovers. It even includes my special low carb jerk sauce. So if you want to just try it on your own, you want to try low carb for 5 days, just go to my website, www.theleanmindbodycoach.com, and register on the mailing list, and you'll see the form there. And immediately in your inbox, you'll get the 5-day low carb recipe, and it's about 20 pages long. It is so detailed. It is really worth the effort, and it will really give you an idea of the delicious foods that you can eat on a low carb diet. I also want to tell you about the Brotherhood. I am so excited about this program, which will be launching in November to December. It's a 5-week program. Ladies, I do apologize. It's strictly for men, only for men. And this program, last year we held it and it went incredibly well, but it wasn't for men. It was a mixed group. There were people who lost 21 pounds in the 5 weeks, but we're going to go even deeper in this program. And you'll be able to register for this program from next week. So ladies, speak to your men about that Brotherhood program, because believe me, we are going to go deep in this program. This is not just going to be about weight loss. If they have a problem with their weight on their stomach, if they're having a problem with their blood sugar, and they're pre-diabetic, I'm not saying if you're diabetic you can't be on the program, but if you are, you need to be managed in a different way, and I would need to have a real serious conversation with you, especially if you're on medication. But if you're pre-diabetic, this 5-week program can help normalize your blood sugar. If you want to lose weight, it can definitely help. And there are so many other benefits. This Brotherhood program is going to help men with, and we're going to have a fantastic time. So next week, I'll be releasing more details of this program, and people are interested. And it's going to be a small group. It's not going to be a big group. Very, very small group, because individuals are going to have access to me 27 days a week. I'm going to work hard to get results. This is not just going to be a one-off communication. Individuals in this program are going to have access to me 7 days a week, but I'll tell you more about that next week. If you wanted to purchase my book, The Lean Mind Body Coach, you can just go to my website, theleanmindbodycoach.com, and you can purchase the book. I'm having some great testimonies, comments about the book. Again, it just talks about the lean mind body method, nutrition, sleep, exercise, and mindset. Talks about my journey. It talks about how you can implement it in your life. So if you want to go to the website, you can register for that. Tribe, so much work is going on in the background. I've closed down Tribe, the registration for Tribe for this week. I'll be opening it back up next week. So the Tribe community will be opened up next week, and it will be opened up with a little bit of a different look. And I'm giving everybody who joins now a 2-week free trial. Absolutely 100% free. You'll have a 2-week free trial of Tribe and the support community, just to see if it's something that you like. So that will be happening, I think next week. We'll open that back up. So the next time I'll be in front of you, if you're a regular, it's been 4 weeks now. Yeah, 4 weeks. It's been about 4 weeks, about the fourth one. The next time I'll be in front of you will be on Monday with a Make Health Your Habit podcast live, 7 o'clock. And again, you'll be able to watch it on Facebook and YouTube. So remember, sleep and your hormones and your weight loss. The reason why you have been so peckish whenever you don't get amount of sleep is because your ghrelin and leptin hormones are out of whack. That is the reason why you reach for that high sugar and carb content food. Just try it for a week. Doesn't matter what you've been doing, try it for a week. Just try to get, if you'll be getting 5 hours sleep, just for 1 week, try and make it 7. And just have a little journal. Make a note of how many times you wake up during the night, because it's okay to wake up 1 or 2 times during the night. It's quite normal. But just see how you feel in the morning. And then if you feel great, recognize that feeling. And then if you feel, well, my lifestyle means I can only get about 6, or then reduce it by half an hour, an hour each day, and see if you still feel the same. So that's sleep and weight loss. Remember about the sugar content of the food, the pounded jam, the oatmeal, and the bread. Your choice, what you put in your mouth. And the lean reflection today was all about breaking your day up into 4 quarters, so you don't throw the whole day out with the bathwater because you've messed up and that's a twirl or a bar of chocolate. Listen, it's great being in front of you. I'm really enjoying these sessions. They're a growth opportunity for me. Next week we'll come back and we'll have another session. In fact, next week I am going to be talking about diabetes. This is something that affects so many people, in particular people of color. I'm going to break down the mechanism of how diabetes happens and some of the things you might be able to do to be able to avoid this thing. That is what we're going to be talking about next week. But for now, listen, as I like to say to you, what's the best habit you can do? Well, make health your habit. I can't see what better habit you can ever do than to make health your habit. Listen, you guys enjoy the rest of the evening. Whatever you do, you be safe. All right? And I will see you on L.E.A.N Bites Live the same time, 7 o'clock next week. Bye for now.